Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Physics Tricks. So let's start with magnetic force on a moving charge, and in this video I'll be taking theory plus the problems. So do watch till the end. You will be you will get more clarity on magnetic force and the numericals related to magnetic force on a moving charge. So see here, what is magnetic field? To find the unknown magnetic field, we have to have the moving charge, isn't it? If moving charge is there, then only magnetic force will act on it. If charge is at rest, then electric force will act on it, isn't it? So to find unknown electric field, we can determine that unknown electric field by force on a test charge. But to find the unknown magnetic field, right, to find the unknown magnetic field, we must measure the magnitude and direction of a force on a moving test charge. So this is the difference between the electric field and the magnetic field. So magnetic force, this magnetic force Fm is directly proportional to number one, charge on a particle. Then it is directly proportional to the velocity with which this charge is moving. Then it is directly proportional to the sine of angle between velocity and the magnetic field. It is directly proportional to B. Now if you just combine all this, right, this is first, second, third, fourth. If you combine all this, you will get the magnetic force as QVB sine theta, right? So this is observed practically, and finally we'll get Q V bar cross B bar. So this is the magnetic force in vector form, we can say, right? Q V bar cross B bar. And in this, always remember, this force is always perpendicular to V bar and B bar, because it is a cross product, right? V bar cross B bar. So cross product property, if you know, right, this is A bar cross B bar will always be perpendicular to resultant. Its resultant, that is V bar cross B bar, will always be perpendicular to the force we have, right? So this is the expression that you need to remember. Okay, so now some points are there that you need to remember. First point is the magnitude of the force this is the QVB sine theta, that is what I have written over here. Then theta is the angle between V and B. Fm is 0. Now Fm, that is magnetic force, might be 0 when Q is equal to 0. If you put Q is equal to 0 in this expression, Fm is 0. Then if V is equal to 0, Fm is 0. If magnetic field is 0, Fm is 0. If angle theta, now sine theta will be 0 when theta is equal to 0 degree, 180 degree, 360 degree, right? Now 180 degree, 360 degree, or any angle we can say, right? So over here therefore we can write when velocity and the magnetic field are in the same direction, then the force between them is 0, or else velocity and the magnetic field in the opposite direction, then also we can say the force on it will be 0. So the first point, the magnitude. Second point, Fm will be 0 when B is equal to 0, Q is equal to 0, V is equal to 0. Angle between them is 0, 180, 360, and likewise, and so on and so forth. Okay, the units of B now over here, the units of B must be same as that of F by QV. So see here, if I take B unit, right, if I take B unit, it will be F divided by QV. Sine theta has no units, I am not considering that. So the unit of B will be Newton per Coulomb meter per seconds, or else we can write this as Newton second per Coulomb meter. Newton second per Coulomb meter, which is equivalent to Tesla. So I hope this is clear, which is equivalent to Tesla. This is after the scientist Nikola Tesla, and we have the 1 Tesla is equal to this one, or else Coulomb per second is nothing but ampere, isn't it? So we can write 1 Tesla is equal to Newton per ampere meter, or Newton second per coulomb meter. So do remember all these formulas, all these expressions, very important. Okay, now the Celsius unit of B is Gauss. Gauss. This is also a name of the scientist, and 1 Tesla is equal to 10 to the power 4 Gauss. Do remember. That means Tesla is a very large unit, right? Actually, Tesla is very large unit, and that is the reason in most of the practical purposes they use the Gauss as a unit, right? Because Tesla we have is a very huge unit, right? Large unit we can say. So I hope these 4 points are clear to you all. Fm is maximum when theta is equal to 90 degree. Obviously sin theta lies in between -1 to 1, isn't it? So maximum value is possible, and that is 1, which is at an angle of 90 degree. So yes, Fm will be maximum when the angle between the velocity and the magnetic field is 90 degree. Fourth point we have, and that is B must be the same as that unit of B must be same as that of the F by QV, and F unit is Newton, Q unit is Coulomb, V unit is meter per seconds. So I hope this is clear now. Now the next part we have, and in this, the fifth point, in equation 1, Q is substituted with sign. Yes, so why we have to substitute Q with sign? Because it is QVB sin theta, isn't it? So force, if Q is positive, then force will be in the same direction, right? In the same direction as that of V bar cross B bar, right? V bar cross B bar's direction. But if you consider Q as negative, then the Fm, that is magnetic force, will be in the direction opposite to the V bar cross V bar, because negative will be there, isn't it? Now why so? Because Fm is equal to Q V bar cross V bar, isn't it? And if it is positive, it will have two things, positive Q and the negative Q. So if it is positive, Fm will be Q V bar cross V bar, nothing will happen. But if it is negative, Fm will be minus Q V bar cross V bar. So minus indicates what? Minus indicates we have Q V bar cross V bar, isn't it? Then we have to consider V bar towards V bar, isn't it? So that is the case. Why? Because in cross product, A bar cross V bar is equal to negative of V bar cross A bar, right? V bar cross A bar. So this is how you have to remember. So yes, Q is to be substituted with sign, and if Q is positive, magnetic force is along V bar cross V bar, and if Q is negative, magnetic force is in the direction opposite to the V bar cross V bar. So this is what you have to remember. Now sixth point in this, direction of Fm. From the property of cross product, we can infer that Fm is perpendicular to V and B, right? Yes, I told this, right? From the property of cross product, Fm is perpendicular to V and B, right? So direction of Fm, sign of Q, direction of V bar cross V bar, as we stated earlier also, right? Fm is in the direction of V bar cross V bar if Q is positive. So that is what I told over here. Fm is in the direction opposite to the V bar cross V bar if Q is negative. Now to find the direction of the force, we have two rules, right? One is Fleming's left hand rule. So if you consider the thumb, the index finger, right? Index finger as in forefinger, and the central finger as in middle finger. So the thumb, this is the index finger and the middle finger. Thumb, index finger, middle finger, or else thumb, forefinger, central finger. If you consider these three fingers mutually perpendicular to each other, and if this index finger denotes the direction of the magnetic field, this middle finger denotes the direction of the velocity of the positive charge. This is very important. Direction of the velocity of the positive charge, then and only then this thumb will represent the direction of the magnetic force on the positive charge. But if the charge is negative, what you have to consider? You have to consider the direction of the force will be in the direction opposite to the positive charge. So this law is, or this rule is that simple, isn't it? So if you consider the three fingers of your left hand mutually perpendicular to each other, if this index finger denotes the direction of the, if this index finger denotes the direction of the magnetic field, if this middle finger or central finger denotes the direction of the velocity of the positive charge, then this finger denotes the direction of the magnetic force. That is what written over here, right? So it is according to this rule of the forefinger, the central finger and the thumb of the left hand are stretched in a such way that they are mutually perpendicular to each other, like this, right? Like this, mutually perpendicular to each other. In any sense, they are mutually perpendicular to each other, as you can see. Okay. Now they give, if the central finger shows the direction of the velocity of positive charge, that is what positive charge is very important, and forefinger shows the direction of the magnetic field, then the thumb will give the direction of the magnetic force. If instead of positive charge we have negative charge, then Fm is in the opposite direction. That is what I told. So this is how you have to remember. Now what is the right hand rule? Right hand rule is very simple, that we used to study in the cross product also. See, what you have to consider is, you have to consider this four fingers in the direction of the velocity. Curl it towards B. This thumb denotes the direction of the magnetic force. This will be very simple. V bar cross B bar will give you direction of the magnetic force. Right now, direction of the magnetic force. So this is the right hand rule we have. Now the next one, seventh one, as you can see, Fm is perpendicular to V, or Fm is perpendicular to ds by dt. Therefore, we can say the Fm magnetic force is perpendicular to the displacement, indicates work done during this process will be 0. If work done is 0, kinetic energy is always constant, indicates speed of the particle will never change. Velocity changes in the direction, but the speed of the particle will never change in the what is called the magnetic force, due to the magnetic force, isn't it? So as Fm is perpendicular to V, Fm is perpendicular to ds by dt, Fm, that is magnetic force, is perpendicular to displacement, work done by the magnetic force in a static magnetic field is 0. So do remember this, right? As magnetic force and the velocity always perpendicular, indicates it is always perpendicular to displacement, work done, we know that force dot displacement, angle is 90 degree, indicates f ds cos theta, and that f ds cos 90 degree is what? 0, then 0 joule. If work done is 0, power delivered by it is also 0 watt, and we can say that kinetic energy is always constant, indicates speed is also constant throughout. Speed is also constant throughout. So I hope this is clear. Speed, kinetic energy of a particle will neither increase nor decrease, right? By convention of direction of the magnetic field, perpendicular to the paper going inward is shown by this one, right? So into the plane is shown by this, and out of the plane is shown by this. That is what this note represents. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now the next one, we have one of the example over here, and it is given a charged particle is projected in a magnetic field given. The acceleration of the particle is found to be this one. Find the value of x. Now see, we know that, right? Velocity and the magnetic force are always perpendicular to each other. If magnetic force and the velocity are always perpendicular to each other, can we say the magnetic field and the acceleration will always be in the 90 degree direction? Why? Because see, if we have, this is the magnetic field, and this is the what is called as motion of the charge, positive charge, VQ supposed to be, then force is perpendicular to it in this direction, supposed to be Fm. Then Fm, that is the acceleration, and the magnetic field which is into the plane, they are always at an angle of 90 degree. So therefore angle between we can write angle between the magnetic force and magnetic field is 90 degree. Therefore the dot product, the magnetic force dot with magnetic field must be equal to 0 indicates acceleration due to the magnetic force dot with the magnetic field must be equal to 0. And acceleration, this acceleration will always be the centripetal acceleration only, because magnetic force can't provide the tangential acceleration, isn't it? So it will only provide the radial acceleration. So radial acceleration, we have xi hat plus 2j hat dot with 3i hat plus 4j hat and into 10 to the power minus 2, which is equal to 0. Now if you take the dot product, you will get 3x plus 8 into 10 to the power minus 2 is equal to 0. So this 10 to the power minus 2 will go that side, and we'll have 3x is equal to minus 8. So what is the value of x then? It is minus 8 divided by 3. Minus 8 divided by 3. So I hope this is clear. Right. Likewise, we have the next problem, and these are some problems that I took. Right. These all problems are very simple. We'll go through it one by one, and within maximum 7 to 8 minutes we'll complete this. Okay. So first problem, as you can see, write the dimensions of E by B. So see here, we know that the magnetic force and the electric force QE is equal to QVB. This is possible, right? So Q cancel. Why it is possible? Because if I consider supposed to be the electric field in this direction, and there is a positive charge. So on this charge, due to this electric field, there is a force, right? There is a force, and that force is in the downward direction. This is the electric force. Now, if I consider the magnetic field which is into the plane, then, and this charge is moving in this direction, supposed to be with velocity v, then the what is called as the magnetic force in the upward direction. So these two forces will consider that Fe is equal to Fb, that is the magnitude of the electric force must be equal to the magnitude of the magnetic force. So E is equal to, we have V into B. So velocity is E divided by B. Indicates the dimensions of E by B are the dimensions of velocity. So we'll write LT minus 1. So I hope this is clear. So for the first one, LT minus 1, in the relation F is equal to Q V bar cross B bar, which pairs are always perpendicular to each other? F is always perpendicular to V bar cross B bar. That is what I told, right? Third one, if beam of electron travels in a straight line in a certain region, can we say there is no magnetic field? Possible, right? Can we say no magnetic field? Yes, possible. Can we say there might be a magnetic field? Yes, possible. Why? Because if we have the magnetic field which is in the direction of the motion of the electron, what is the force on this? It will be 0. So we can't surely say whether the magnetic field is present or not. So this is the third answer. Fourth one, a charge Q is given minus 4 microcoulomb, has an instantaneous velocity given and uniform magnetic field. What is the force? So force on a charge will be Q V bar cross B bar. So firstly we'll calculate V bar cross B bar and put it in the expression. So what is V bar cross B bar and how to calculate that? V bar cross B bar is equal to I hat J hat K hat. Now cross product, it's very simple. 2 minus 3 and 1, and this will be 2 5 minus 3. And this 10 to the power 6 and 10 to the power minus 2, it is always there, into 10 to the power minus 2 plus 6, it will be plus 4. Okay, chalo. So we'll calculate now. Firstly, I hat, take it I hat, remove this column and a row. So it will be 9 minus 5, then minus J hat, remove this column and a row, minus 6 minus 2 plus K hat. It will be, remove this column, row, 10 plus 6. So if you just calculate this now, you will get 4i hat minus plus 8j hat, and this is plus 16k hat. This is the V bar cross B bar. Now put it in the expression. F bar is equal to, what is Q? What is Q over here? Q is minus 4 microcoulomb. Minus 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 into 10 to the power 4 into 4I hat plus 8j hat plus 16k hat. So this will be minus 4 into 10 to the power minus 2 into 4I hat plus 8j hat plus 16k hat. And if you want the magnitude of it, this is the in vector form. So if you want its magnitude, it will be minus 4 into 10 to the power minus 2 root of 16 plus 64 plus 256. So this is the fifth problem. A particle initially moving towards south. One particle is there. Suppose positive, negative, we don't know. So I am considering Q only. It is moving towards south. So I am considering this is north, this is east, this is south, this is west, this is vertically downward, and this is vertically upward. Okay. Particle moving towards south initially. So it has velocity in the southward direction. Vertically downward magnetic field is there. Vertically downward, as in this is the magnetic field direction. Okay, no problem. And it is deflected towards east. Force on it is towards east. Magnetic force towards east. Now we have to find what is the sign on the charge particle. See here, V is towards south like this. So you have to stretch your fingers towards south. Okay, no problem. And curl it towards magnetic field. But magnetic field is into the plane. So what you have to do is like this, right? Like this you have to do, and curl it towards the magnetic field. The force is coming out to be in this direction. Force is coming out to be in this direction indicates force, given force and your force are coming out to be in the same direction. Given force and your force is coming out to be in the same direction. That indicates the charge is positive. If given force and your force is in the opposite direction, why? Because you consider the Q as positive charge. Initially I consider positive charge, and V bar cross V bar will give you the direction of force on a positive charge. But the given force also is in the same direction, indicates this is the positive charge. Charge given is positive. So I hope this is clear. Now sixth one, an electron experiences a magnetic force on a magnetic magnitude given when the moving at an angle 60 degree with respect to magnetic field given. Find the speed of electron. Okay, electron experience magnetic force is given. Magnetic force is 4.6 into 10 to the power minus 15 Newton. Then when moving at an angle theta is given 60 degree. Then magnitude of the magnetic field is given 3.5 into 10 to the power minus 3. Speed we want. Okay, so what is the magnetic force formula? It is Fm is equal to QVB sine theta. So the speed we have is Fm by QB sine theta. What is Fm? 4.6 into 10 to the power minus 15 divided by Q. Charge we have is electron. So 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 into what is called as the B magnetic field 3.5 into 10 to the power minus 3 into sine 60 degree. Sine 60 is root 3 by 2. Now calculate this and you will get what is called as the speed. So I hope this is clear. So this is the sixth one. This is the sixth one, right? So all these problems are very simple. Now if anyone has any doubt, they can always ask me in the comment box. I'll try to reply to your comment as soon as possible. Thank you so much.